Roula Assad. I am a journalist and I am from Syria, based in Netherlands. Actually, one of the challenges that faced women movement in the region, as my colleagues from Afghanistan said, it's media. And as I am a media person, I have a doubt about what we are doing in the media. And I'll just have 10 minutes to tell you a story about how media portrayed women, especially before a little bit the uprising and later on when this uprising burned on the many countries. So, before 2011, many medias, and without giving any a good point or success, or without naming any media, they show women Arab as this. They have this image in the media about Arab women, even in some Arab media. But there is some media who wanted to make a difference, especially when they are talking about Middle East countries like Lebanon or Tunisia, and they show this image of the women. This or that, you don't have a choice as a woman, as Arab woman coming from that country. But what happened after 2011, many media want to show these photos of women going out together, demonstrate from different countries. And this is just to show there is other women. They are not oppressed in the house, or they are not just artists and they have this unlimited freedom of showing their bodies and so on. So they try to bring another good image of women in many reasons, and in many countries for many reasons, because it become like a sexy topic in the media. It's a woman, they are outside, so it's bring more audience to this website or to that, for example, a television coverage. But what happened after just a couple of months of peace movement in many countries has oppressed? Actually, if I want to speak about Tunisia, and I will just give very short points on many countries, and I will focus on Syria, of course. In Tunisia, they kicked out women. They go out with the men, they demonstrate, they want freedom, dignity, equality, but after a while, the Salafist and the conservative parties who control the government and the transitional phase. And they demonstrate again. Nowadays it's better, but it's during, 2011, 2013, what happened in this Arab Spring, which is, I don't agree on Spring's name, but anyway. In Egypt, for example, it is still continuing. There is sexual harassment in the public sphere against women, especially women who are going out to demonstrate against Sisi or before against the Muslim Brotherhood. So it is still continuing reporting sexual violence against women in public sphere in Egypt. And this is also actually a sexy topic for media, because it's sexual harassment which is bring audience. So media, they don't care what talking about. They just need readers, audience, listener to the radio or coverage or anything. So it's the matter of how many people follow me as a media. It's not about what I'm covering, actually, in many points. In Yemen, for example, these are photos. It's made by a Yemeni photographer, Bushra al-Mutawakkil. And this just show the reality, not only in Yemen, but in many Arab countries. So as I said, there's a lot to talk in each country, but I was just running to go to Syria because there's a lot to tell. In Libya, for example, many Western media focus on this, that women go out and they vote. And for me, and it's very personal opinion, that they want to show it as a Western positive way of the intervention, that because the Western intervention in media, women later on, as a result, going out to vote, but no one talk about the rape that women faces in many Libyan cities, and they flee to Tunisia, and they still, till this moment, there is non-documented numbers of women get raped during the Gaddafi fighting, and later on when the militias get armed. So this is like very general image about what's happening in the region around Syria. But in Syria, the story starts in 2011 when women go out to demonstrate. And here I'm talking actually about the participation of women in the revolution. They go out for demonstration. They start to organize a civil and peaceful campaign to raise awareness about sectarianism and what they have to do as alternative, as a civil society alternative of the regime, and we need this and that, all this and that is freedom, dignity, equality. And then even more, they took the opportunity to be a speaker person for many political parties. And we start to see in the media, I will not talking here about international, but for sure for the Arabs media, there is a woman speaker, which is good, which is new, there is women there to go and to say, this is what happened on the earth, that's what we think, and so on. And they were, in 2011, 2012, partners in the local council, which is none of the international media covered this, because the cities, which is liberated from the government forests, they start to make their alternative council. And women stepped in, and they were participants in this. They were in the local council at that moment. Also, they protect young people, because in the beginning, the regime didn't care about women, because they thought women, they don't do anything, they are angels. But those angels, actually, they were those people who, in many cases, push young people to go out to the street, push for campaigns, and push for many campaigns in level of raise awareness and a culture campaign, actually, but it's all coming to revolution. And then because of this thought in the regime that women, we are not afraid of them, they protect young people, for example, in demonstration, when the secret service come to demonstration to arrest or even to kill people. So women jump to a young, for example, a man, and they said, he is my son, and we are just walking. So because he is her son, so it's okay. But the other ones, without her mother or her sister, they get into trouble. So it's like positive. They use the negative image of women to react as a positive rule. So I found it as a positive rule that they actually protect young people in many cases in demonstration. And some of them, they actually protect people to flee from the country, from Syria to Lebanon or to Jordan, because we said we are family, we're going to travel to the other country, we have a family there and so on. They are not, but because they are like a group of people, they shown that they are family. Some young people flee the country, even they are wanted. And whereas women make like this and do some sexy single, so the soldier don't care, so just go. And they use it, but in a positive way. Anyway, but after this, actually, activism of women in demonstration, later on, the regime gathered women who are participating in this as well. So they start to arrest women. Sorry, this is in Arabic, but it's shown where the most arrested women get, for example, and it's in total, this is last year posted, it's 730 women get arrested, but this is not sure number because no one knows how many people in abduction in Niger. No one knows. So this is like what documented in the from different human rights organizations. So it shows in different areas. It's not only just in Damascus, no. Actually, in all over Syria, women get arrested because their activism in the revolution. But this is not the end of the problem. It's just the start, because women start to flee from the country, to Lebanon, to Jordan, to Turkey, and to Iraq, because they don't want to be in trouble. They want to save the rest of the family. So we start to see women refugees in many countries. So this is the second reason that media focused on. They don't focus on the activism just a little bit, and then they focused on refugees because they want, because they want to show how miserable situation there. But for us as a women movement, we see that a group of women fled from the country, and this is weakness of the movement itself, the civil movement, I mean. So again, this is showing, but this is recent actually, it's not in the beginning, this is recent. Where are the most refugees in the neighborhood country. But this shows more how many women. And if I want just to say, in Jordan, 25 they are women, 53 they are children. In Lebanon, 25 as well. In Turkey, 23. So it's really a huge number of people moving, fleeing, leaving the country. So this is when we wanted to analyze the women movement in the country. It means there is a group of people, they are not there anymore. They are in a very bad situation in refugee camp. And this is, if we just want to talk about the regime side, arresting, scaring people, people flee from the country, of course, shelling, all these obstacles, and it threaten as a threat to women to leave the country, as simple as it is, because they want to save the rest of the family. And at the end of 2012, we start to hear about Salafists and extremists. They are Syrian, they are not, but at that time wasn't sure who they are. But now we have the name, they are ISIS. But what ISIS bring? This is an advertising in a city, Raqqa. It's northeast Syria, West Syria actually. And like to tell that each woman should be covered. And they give some benefits of being covered because you are going to the heaven. And this is the gain, and the gain. But also, they bring, ISIS, what they bring to the media as a topic. They want to bring this because it's not interesting for the media, some who are focusing on human rights. What this was quite covered in the Western media, actually, the sex jihad. Without any actually real cover, it's all thought, it's all doubt. They hear from Saudi Arabia, some women give testimony about that in Tunisia. But it was quite a topic in the media, actually, especially in the Western media. And this poster just published 1 month ago when ISIS decided to stone a woman in Hama. It's in the middle of Syria because of their reason, actually. They have many reasons to do that. And stoning, if you don't know what that means, that to, what is that?
I think everybody here knows what stoning is.
Great.
We told them so much about stoning.
So there's 3 cases of stoning actually in Syria. And in the beginning, some activists wanted to show that it's more than 3, but it was not true. And this is the negative side of social media, that truth and non-truth news come to the media. But for sure, there are 3 cases of stoning. And there is campaign from the civil society through social media about this, but it's just like doing something better than doing nothing. And this is also covered in the Western media because it's for the audience, it's not real. Of course it's not real, so it's very hot topic. When we are talking, when the imagination works, so it's hot topic for the media. And stoning, how the ISIS kills people, it's really make people scared. They want to follow what happened, and then the imagination can work. So, not works, of course, all the time works, but in this direction. So this is hot topic for the media, Western media especially, because it brings more audience. Stoning, who do that nowadays? So one of the reasons, in my opinion, as well. And this probably it's covered from many Western media about killing the lawyer in Iraq. And this is like a message to the activists in Syria that if you do this, that will happen to you. It's not yet reported that ISIS killed a female activist in Syria, but there's a lot of threaten and they flee before anything happened, but this is like a message. And of course, whereas ISIS control the movement of the woman, it's not free anymore. They don't have the right to go out alone without man, and man should be from the family. There was early marriage, forced marriage, and this is actually obstacles faced women in that areas. And as a result, is faced women movement in the whole country. And this, of course, what regime did, and later on ISIS come to the country, that forced to military female soldier. And this is from early Kurdish fighters. It's early, it's not when ISIS come that the female fighters from Kurdish parties, they get military. This is from regime side. They already have in the army system, like a female can join the army, but it's like shown as we have as well female in the army. They don't have operation on the field, but they have other administrative work. This is Islamistic groups, and it's not new as well. This is Kurdish, actually. And in my opinion, again, military, it means war, female, it means sex. So it's a hot topic for the media. But I have a question to our women movement all over the world. Why they are happy because female get armed, especially Kurdish? We already see, for example, everyone get weapon, they have the case. Even the female soldier in the regime forest, they have the case. They said that we are protecting the country. Why they are not protecting the country? In the same time, Kurdish fighter, they protecting their area. So this is my doubt actually. As a feminist, should I be happy because female get armed? This has confused me actually. But again, very focused when they said about, we have seen this in the slideshow. This is the Kurdish fighter. BBC covered her story and the reporter was there and make a very huge report. And they said it kills, no, she suicide because she didn't want to killed by ISIS fighters or something like this. And then they said, no, it's not true. So, and she said a very powerful words before, to the reporter actually, and they thought this is her words before suicide, but it was actually not the truth. She said it's still alive. But people said, wow, she is beautiful, she's soldier, she have a very powerful words, and she's Kurdish, she's fight for freedom. What about other female? What about other male actually? So here is my doubt coming and grown up. And this as well, it's really taken a very high cover from the media, who fighting ISIS, two faces of women smiling. We will have debate after a while about this. So for me, it's not acceptable to be happy a female getting armed or even male, but some real that push people to be armed. If we want to move a little bit from the grassroots, from the Syrian movement grassroots in the country to elite movement, this is two photos coming from Geneva actually. And Geneva talks to the first one, a group of women get gathering by UN women, and they have this very beautiful photo with Al-Akhdar Ibrahimi, and to show that there is women from Syria coming to make a difference and so on. And Samira was at that meeting, and she is somewhere. Anyway, to me as a journalist, it's just a joke. Because at the same time that women, they are meeting there and lobbying for being in the negotiation table, the Akhdar Ibrahimi said himself, go away, there is no place for you. But UN women insist to put these photos and to send it to many agencies and media to say, we achieved it, we got it, there is a lot of women there. But again, there is another obstacle in the women movement. The photo below, it's another Syrian woman, the three of them, they are sitting, but they are in favor somehow in regime thought, somehow, because still working inside the Syria. These two groups, they were at the same time in Geneva. Some of them go to this office, the other one just go out, and they are talking against each other. And it was very embarrassing for a Syrian woman because they don't have the same view of being on the negotiation table, and they have another. It's like it's weakness of the movement in Syria, but it's happened. It's not the big issue. The big issue how UN women use this group of women that they are achieving something, but the reality is nothing. They are just two. This is in the process. There is 2 women in the regime group and 2 women in the opposition group. And one of them here, she is a journalist, she was a minister, she is scenarist, she writer, and the other one, she is a politician actually. And again, if we are talking about gender equality and women's rights, we have this thought and this doubt as well, and I have it, I will not say we. If they are feminists, are they going to raise some issue about women's rights in Syria? We have this doubt even in representing women in the negotiation process. A few media actually focus on the civil society activism in Syria and in exile, because a lot of civil society organizations, they based in Beirut or in Jordan or even in Turkey. But how many of you heard about this kind of organization? They are fighting every day to just make a difference on the field, but they get stuck in the process of bringing a human aid and send it to the country and so. But they are trying to, for example, one of the organizations in Turkey, they are trying to bring women from inside the country and to raise awareness about what the role can women play in the peace process. So actually, there is not a lot of media care about this. They care about other issue because bring audience. This issue is very, very boring for the audience, but actually it's not all the audience. And this kind of issue, if you think that, or if you have a doubt, if there is civil society in Syria, if there is anything happening there, or just people fighting each other and crying women in refugees camp, it is. There is a lot actually, and it's written. But unfortunately, most of them written in Arabic, but not in English, for example. And even the media, Swedish media or international media in general, they don't care about this. Don't ask me why, because I don't know. It's not sexy, and that's it. Because what sexist topics it come, like crimes, religious, for example. This is the most topics covered by media. So this kind of things like the hope, the future, it's not, unfortunately. So there is also a lot of women project, and I would love to share more and more about this. If there is any interest, I would love to sit to any of you and talk more about it, especially for media, if that's interest to you. And I have talked about peace building project. After all this journey and these photos, actually, if I want to analyze what's the image of Syrian women in the media now, probably this: poor woman with a child running. Probably this: armed women. It's not ISIS, it's just normal Syrian women. But it's, again, back to the beginning, it's that. So media played this circle, like to put us as a woman to the first image. But many of Syrian women here in this room, and consider myself this, because we can do it, but we need solidarity, of course we need sources, and we need a serious commitment from the international society to be with us, not to lie to us like what happened in Geneva talks, not as UN women to deal with the Syrian movement. So we need really commitment, because there's a lot of people on the ground working. So just build a bridge between us and you, and we can do it. And thanks for listening.